Hello everyone, and my name is Rashida, and today we are going to be talking about the application of security principles and from my CYB 515 class. Today we are going to be talking about identify 8 security features, apply the CIA triad principles to security features, describe the specific violation of design principles, and provide recommendations on how to design for remote workers. How does remote work security work? It is a branch of cybersecurity that focuses on protecting corporate assets and data when people conduct their work outside of a physical office. There are a number of scenarios in which remote work cybersecurity is necessary for employees, including working from home, traveling for business, or performing their duties in locations other than the company's offices. Especially since the pandemic, more and more companies are taking the route of making sure a lot of their workers are able to work from home. Failures in security. These are a number of security issues that a lot of people could face, whether they're working from home or in the office, or it could just be your personal workspace at home. We have malware, cybersecurity issues such as backdoors, file sharing sites, worms, viruses, and Trojans are considered malware. Cyber attacks often result in the theft or damage of sensitive information, such as customer identification information, credit card numbers, and things of that nature. Then most of the time it's sold for profit in the open market, probably on like the dark web or like an underground website. Social engineering and phishing, it is an example of a social engineering attack if the attacker lures and interacts with prospective victims. It is intended to persuade individuals to provide sensitive information such as personal and financial information. Ransomware. Ransomware attack occurs when hackers encrypt sensitive data or critical operational systems of a company and demand a ransom to release them. When these types of attacks occur, the business incurs the cost of ransom and lost operations. More of these people might have heard of more of these, mainly like processing organizations would probably use this tactic. Ransomware based on artificial intelligence and machine learning. Machine learning and artificial intelligence based, the threat of ransomware will become more destructive with the advent of machine learning and artificial intelligence. In 2020, basically, it's becoming more and more prominent. With the increased accessibility of these tools, ransomware attacks have become more effective. Supply chain and third-party attacks. They're mainly attacks that conducted by a third party or through a third party provider of the supply chain is referred to as a third party or supply chain attack. Software updates and patches should be kept current as well as selecting reputable providers. The Internet of Things refers to the interconnectivity of infrastructure systems. Almost everything can be more easily managed with smart gadgets, which are part of things in contrast. Part of the Internet of Things, excuse me. These technologies are most vulnerable due to their ease of use and accessibility. Denial of service or DOS attacks. These are attacks on a computer or a legitimate request in which the attacker attempts to prevent the request from being processed. The most common method of causing a denial of service is to overload the target system or resource with unnecessary requests. And finally, internal attacks. Every company faces cybersecurity risks associated with its personnel. Those with the inside access to computers may unintentionally install harmful malware on their computers by exploiting their rights for personal gain. That can go hand in hand with the phishing. Some people might see an email that's like, giving them an offer within their job email and thinking that it, not vetting where it's coming from and things of that nature, they could accidentally open up a link that could affect the entire system as a whole. A lot of the times it's not intentional. What is the CIA triad? An organization's information security policy should be guided by confidentiality, integrity, and availability. To avoid confusion with the Central Intelligence Agency, the model is occasionally referred to as the AIC triad: availability, integrity, and confidentiality. In order to identify vulnerabilities and to develop effective solutions to problems, these tools are used. So this is a good step for anybody within cybersecurity to take note of and give everybody basically like a guided task into what they're doing on either their workspace or their personal computers. The core principles of the triad is again confidentiality, which is privacy. I mean, they and confidentiality go hand in hand. The goal of confidentiality measures is to prevent unauthorized access to sensitive information. If data falls into the wrong hands, it's often characterized according to how much damage it could do. Those categories can then be used to implement more or less stringent measures. Integrity is about making sure data is accurate, consistent, and trustworthy. Changing data while it's in transit is a no-no, and steps to be taken to prevent unauthorized people from altering it. Availability for authorized parties. Information should be consistently and easily accessible. Information is stored and displayed in hardware and technological infrastructure that needs to be properly maintained. So as long as anybody who's within cybersecurity pay attention to these core principles, they should be okay. Violation of design principles. The CIA trio exploits security flaws such as weak passwords, unsecure home lots, unencrypted communication, and unencrypted Wi-Fi networks. So that's basically what it, like again, it just makes sure that everything that is necessary to use to work from home works at a secured pace. Remote workers recommendation design principles. These are a few steps that people can take when working from home. You can ensure that a data policy is established and enforced. Basically make sure it's on, everybody has a guide into what they can be used and what cannot be used, how they can access certain things, and just make sure that they understand what they're really getting into. In the event of a violation, policies related to secure data, I do feel as though the company should provide certain consequences. Provide the correct and most recent security technologies to all employees, such as strong VPN, strong passwords, and up-to-date antivirus software. It is important to monitor and approve the use of personal devices. I know some people might use their personal phones, when it comes to work, but again, it runs at a risk. Because even though you're not on the clock at times, using your personal phone to gain certain access to certain things as far as work can trigger an attack. Together with IT, risk management, operations personnel, and internal and external legal counsel, develop a BYOD, bring your own device policy. Moreover, ensuring all data is secure requires a zero trust approach, and the zero trust approach just means literally do not trust anybody or anything when it comes to your personal workspace, what type of information you have on your laptop or whatever type of devices they have provided to you, including mobile phones and things of that nature. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me, and enjoy the rest of your evening.